in today's session, we're going to talk about finding your tribe. We're going to talk about the balancing act. And when I say the balancing act, what I mean by that is the application, the changing, and the teaching. That's what ACT stands for: apply, change, and teach. What will you apply? What will you change? What will you teach? We're also going to talk about dumb goals. You've heard of SMART goals? I want to introduce you to some dumb goals. I can hear you thinking, Claudine, what on earth are dumb goals? You're going to find out in a moment. And then we're going to talk about the application of instinct and intellect. And then after that, I've got a special invitation for you all. So Shalina shared this earlier on, and it's something that I kind of have as a standing piece when we talk about navigating life. It's important for you, as you are working towards aligning your actions, it's important for you to find your tribe. Find your tribe. And what I mean by finding your tribe is who are your ability to identify who are those people who you are called to serve. I speak to many women, and especially at Strategy Day in January, many of the women were saying things like, Claudine, I want to help people. Claudine, I want to empower other women. Claudine, I want to support other women. You've got to be able to position yourself to find your tribe. When you're aligning your actions, you want to be able to find whatever actions I am wanting to develop or to deliver on. Who are the people who I'm called to support? Ask yourself that question. Who are the people who I am called to support? Where are they? When I say where are they, I mean, where do they live? Are they in England? Are they in the north of the country? Are they in the south of the country? Are they in Europe? Are they in the Caribbean? Are they in the US? Are they in Asia? Where are they? What is their demographic profile? Are they male? Are they female? What age are they? What's their life experience? What have they experienced? The reason why it's important for you to understand this is so that you can find them. You need to be able to find the people who you are looking for. The easiest thing to do, and I say this to you every week, is to find them on social media. Social media has leveled the playing field. It's opened up opportunities for you to find people in different social media groups. Lots of people say to me, oh, Claudine, I'm too shy. Oh, I don't like speaking to people. I'm sorry. But if you don't like speaking to people, how can you help them? You might say to me, Claudine, I'm really good one-to-one, but I'm not good in a group. Then these are some of the things that we have to work on. So when I talk then about finding your tribe, finding my tribe is this. This is exactly what I've done. What I'm trying to do is give you a real life example of how I found my tribe. I started out during the Navigating Life empowerment class, empowerment series during the global pandemic. And as Shalina said earlier on, I speak about this all of the time. This was supposed to be a 12-week program, and 4 years later, we are still here. And one of the reasons why I still continue to run the Navigating Life Empowerment class, even though I've had private conversations with myself in my own head on many occasions. Claudine, it's time to stop. Claudine, you're running out of energy. Claudine, you need to stop this now. Every time I think about stopping something, or somebody sends me a transformational testimonial, they send me something that makes me think, oh my gosh, with feedback like this, I can't stop. With feedback like that, I can't stop. And what it's doing is demonstrating that the people, the tribe, the group, the community, the city, the people who you are called to want what you have. You have to find your tribe. And one of the things that I wanted to do to make this tangible was to create three best-selling anthologies about mindset, identity and relationships, health, grief and loss, motherhood, change, and emotional roller coasters. All three of these anthologies are available on Amazon. But here's the most important thing. What this did was allow women to have a central point of call, a central point of contact, that if they couldn't get hold of me. So we were speaking earlier on, I run a weekly e-blast. Every Tuesday morning, I send out an e-blast with tips, tools, and tactics for your personal and professional development. But we also now have 3 anthologies that you can jump onto Amazon. You can share stories, testimonials of success. This contributes to finding your tribe. When you found your tribe, you need to have something that you give to them. It could be a weekly newsletter, it could be a podcast, it could be your YouTube channel, it could be anything. It could be a product or service that you are selling or giving to your community. So one of the things I want you to do, especially for those of you who say to me, Claudine, I want to start a side hustle, Claudine, I want to help people in business, Claudine, I want to do something more than what I am currently doing. Find your tribe, identify your people by creating an avatar for them. Understand where are they, what's their gender, what's their age profile, what type of work are they doing, what are their hobbies and interests, what's their marital status, do they have children, what age and stage of life are they observing, are they menopausal? Oh my goodness, that's very serious. We need to understand this. Are they menopausal? Because if they are, that's a whole different ball game, a whole different type of conversation that you could be having. Or are they parents, mothers with young children? Or are they empty nesters or semi-empty nesters? It's important for you to know this, because by you properly understanding where your tribe are in their stages of life, you are then able to create products and services that can support them. And this is the thing that's really important about the balancing act. Many of you will know I wrote a book for my after I had a life-altering cancer diagnosis in 2019. One of the things I wanted to do from that point onwards was to create something, I want to call it memorable. I was creating memories. And so for each birthday since 2019, I've done something big, something different, something that I've not done before. So if there's ever a stage in my life, I think to myself, oh my God, I just don't like my life. I'm not happy with the way how things are going. I've always got something to point towards, something that's big. It's stretched me. It's increased my capacity for more. So when I say this to you, I want you to increase your capacity for more. I'm not just saying it. I'm saying it because I've done it. I'm saying it because I pulled myself out of my own comfort zone. So I think 2 years ago, I launched my first solo book, The Balancing Act. And in there, I speak about the intersection of heart and head. It's the place of your deepest passion and sharpest skill. I want you to take a screenshot of this quote, because I want you to refer back to it over the next 7 days. I wrote the book because what was happening in life was that there are different intersections of head and heart. When I say head, I mean your strategic approach, your logic, the things that step by step. For those of you who are process driven, your head, your left brain, if you like, for those of you who are into psychology, it's the left part of your brain that's given you insights, that's given you ideas, that's given you concepts, logics, the things that you need, that you know that you need to do, a step-by-step process. The intersection of hearts speaks about the kind of touchy-feely, passion-driven, ministry-driven, feelings-driven intersections that you sit and you think, and you might say things like, I really feel like I should. I really would like to. And for those types of sentences, you really want to put a strategic framework around your feelings so that you can really measure and monitor the impact of what you are feeling in a wider context. I hope this is making sense. So the intersection of your head and your heart is about your skill and your passion coming together. Your skill and your passion coming together. Let me say that one more time. This is about the balance of your skill and your passion. You don't want to have reckless or aimless passion, just wandering aimlessly out there in the world with no real tangible outputs, which is why I said it's important for you to monitor the last 3 months. So do your own personal and professional evaluation. What happened over the last 3 months? What was my impact? What did my influence look like? How much money did I create or increase on top of my normal or my regular income into my household? The place of your deepest passion and your sharpest skill, where they intersect. You want to be able to understand what's going on in my head logically. Where is my strategic direction? Am I creating the right strategy? Do I have the right strategic approach to increase my capacity for more? Is my passion taken me in the right direction? Or am I the type of person who has 100 ideas before I leave the house every morning and I'm not bringing those ideas to fruition? Or do I need to partner with the right type of people and take a collaborative approach as part of my head or logic strategy in order to take me to that place of my of enacting my vision and allowing me to be all that I've been called to be? These are really important considerations for you to make. And for those of you who will be attending Strategy Day on the 25th, 26th and 27th of April, we'll definitely be delving a bit more into this, into your head strategy, heart strategy. I like to refer to it also as hands strategy and habits. Head, heart, hands and habits. Head, heart, hands and habits. And we'll be delving a bit more into what that looks like and how on a weekly, daily basis you can put systems and structures in place to monitor and measure the intersectionality of your head, heart, hands and habits, so that at the end of each quarter, at the end of each period, you can then take a forensic analysis of your output. It's senseless or pointless of go, 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 and you're not evaluating the progress that you are making. I don't know how many of you watch The Apprentice. Are there any Apprentice watchers here? Just give me, yeah, I see your hand, Shalina. Yes, yes, yes. Any Apprentice watchers on, yes, no, Thursday's show? They were doing the interviews, and one of the interviewers said to one of the candidates, how can you have been running a business and you have not looked at your accounts for 6 months? How on earth are you surviving? I mean, he was mortified, horrified that he's running a business and you have not taken time to go back and look at the most important metric that tells you whether you are making good progress or not. The reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes we go, 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 and haven't taken time to stop and evaluate. And so here's what I want you to do. I want to talk about dumb goals. You've heard of SMART goals? Well, welcome to dumb goals. I was speaking to one of my mentors earlier on this week, and she shared this with me. And I said, listen, I'm sharing this with my mentees too, because this is absolutely amazing. So dumb goals give you a little bit more fire in your tail. For those of you who really want some fire in your belly and you've done with the SMART goals, you understand that SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. But now we want to simplify this, and we want to turn up the fire in our belly. So let's start with some dumb goals. Let's ask ourselves question number 1: is it doable? I want you to make sure that your goal is actually realistic. And I want you to take this for the next 3 months. Make sure that the goal that you have in place, as you align your actions, as you start aligning your actions, make sure the thing that you are working on is actually realistic and achievable within the given time frame and the available resources that you have. One thing that I've observed many times is that women say to me, right, Claudine, I want to start a business. Great goal. And I want to do all these wonderful things. I want to have a great tech platform. I want to sort out my social media. I want to do all these great things. And it's not to say that the goal isn't achievable, but it's not realistic in the time frame that you want, and you don't have enough resource to make this happen. You have some really great ideas, but you don't have enough resource. And when I talk about resource, I'm talking about people, as in people management, or you don't have enough finances, enough money, the input that you need to build the platform in the first place. So what we need to do is take a step back and build a gradual platform, a gradual process, in order to ensure the thing that you say that you want to do is actually doable. Of course, there needs to be some stretch in there, but it also needs to be something that you can accomplish with your current capabilities. And the reality for some of us is that we've got to upgrade. Everybody type the word upgrade in the chat box. Type the word upgrade in the chat box. The reality is some of us have to upgrade our current capabilities. It's not that we can't do this, but the current skill set that we have needs an upgrade. Everybody type the word upgrade in your respective spaces, wherever you are. If you can shout the word upgrade. You need to be able to think about, how do I upgrade what I currently have? And one of the ways that you do that to upgrade is by being intentional. Who are you speaking to? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you doing in your spare time? What inputs? We spoke about inputs last week. What creativity, what ideas, what innovations, what influence are you having? What is seeping into your subconscious? How are you managing your priorities in order to ensure that you can upgrade your output so you can have more doable, so the goals that you set can be doable? Then we need to be able to move to increasing our level of understanding. Are your goals understandable? It's important that you clearly define the goal in specific terms, so that everyone involved understands what needs to be achieved and by when. My favorite author, John Maxwell, and mentor, says, you get what you inspect, not what you expect. You get what you inspect, not what you expect. So it's not good enough only to share your vision. You also need to ensure that people on your team, people who you are collaborating with, that everybody understands with crystal clarity, what is the goal? What are we working towards? What time frames are we working towards? That's why, even with yourself, it's important that you take your own analysis. I shared with you last week, after navigating life, I did my own personal analysis. This week, I think it was on Tuesday, I met with my team, my office team, to do a quarter 1 review of the goals that we spoke about at the beginning of the year. We did a quarter 1 review so that we can see where we are, what type of progress are we making, and do we need to take corrective action before the 31st of December? Right? You don't want to be getting to November and thinking, oh my God, I haven't achieved my goals. Let's do that now. Let's take a forensic look at where we are now so that we can make sure our actions are aligned. Because if it's not crystal clear, it won't get done. If it's not crystal clear, especially for those of you who are saying to me, Claudine, I need to increase my income. For those of you who are coming to strategy day on the 26th, 27th, and 28th, these are some of the things that we're going to be delving a little bit more into, because I'm going to be helping you to increase your financial goal. And in order to increase your financial goal, we need to be clear about what are we doing so that we can understand the types of actions that we need to be taking. I want to be able to help you increase your financial goal, because it's one thing to say, Claudine, this is what I want. And for those of you who attended the Inspire Inclusion session or series during International Women's Month, I was sharing some statistics that demonstrate women in particular who are at retirement age have on average £130,000 saved up in their pension pots, whereas men who are near retirement age have approximately, or in the region of, £260,000 in their retirement pots. These statistics were taken from the Scottish Widows pension scheme. And the interesting thing here is that, listen, let me just be clear. If you, for those of you, go get your calculators, if you've got your phone to hand, £130,000 divided by 20, that's an average life expectancy. If you say, look, Claudine, I want to retire at 65, and say you have another 20 years, that's roughly £6,000 per year. I'm just telling you straight, I cannot live on £6,000 per year. If that's the case, depending on where you are in life right now, you need to be putting on more zeros. More zeros in your business, more zeros in your side hustle, more zeros in your investment portfolio, more zeros in your ability to earn. You need to add another zero. And therefore, your goal must be specific. Nobody in this day and age wants to be 100% reliant on the state. As great as the National Health Service is, as great as the government, the British government are, or the US government, or the Bahamian government, whatever country you are in, as much as your government is doing its best to support its citizens, We don't ever want to be in a position where we are only 100% reliant on them. I run one of my businesses. We provide care services to vulnerable adults who are custodians of the state. For as much as it is a good and viable business, sometimes I think to myself, if this was the only option that we had, it wouldn't be the best way to live. So, really, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm encouraging you to do is think about your financial goals, get some clarity around them. Make your dumb goals motivational. And the thing that could make it motivational is put a figure on it. Make sure the goal is genuinely stimulating and meaningful to you. It should create a sense of excitement and purpose, driving you to take action and keep taking actions. What is that thing that motivates you? What is that thing that makes you get up in the morning? What is that thing that is genuinely stimulating and meaningful to you? For most people, when I ask this question, it's generally, not all the time, but generally something to do with family, something to do with heart, something to do with ministry, or where they feel that they are able to add the most value or be the most purposeful with the gifts, the talents, and the abilities that they have. Make sure the thing that you are striving to, the goal that you are striving to, is stimulating, stimulating and meaningful to you. Do it for your children. Do it for your grandchildren. Do it for your godchildren. Do it for your nieces and nephews. Do it for the bigger picture. Do it for your legacy. Do it for when I am no longer here. What will people say about me? Do it for those reasons that keep you coming back again and again and again and again, because there will come a time when you think to yourself, oh my goodness, I am sick and tired of the situation that's been created. You need something that motivates you to move past that feeling of being sick and tired. You need something that pulls you out of that lull. Have you ever been in a lull or just in a situation you just feel sluggish? You just feel, I just don't have the energy. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the inclination. I just don't have the tenacity. I just don't have the strength or the courage or the determination or the leadership capacity to do what needs to be done. It's in that moment right there when you don't feel like it, when you don't have the energy, when you don't have the drive, that your motivation and inspiration needs to be able to kick in. And if you've got a goal that motivates you, that is meaningful to you, that is bigger than you, I'm doing this not for my generation, but for the next generation and the generation after that. The book of wisdom says a good man, a good woman, a good person leaves an inheritance, not for them, not for their kids, but for their children's children. For their children's children. Well, hang on a minute. If we talk about generations and one generation is 70, let's do the maths on this. One generation is 70. Generation number two is another 70. 3 generations, that's 70 times 3. That's a 210-year plan. Oh my goodness gracious me. A 210-year plan. What type of investments are you making that has the capacity to last a 210 years? That's what investment for my children's children looks like. That's when the book of wisdom, when Solomon's book of wisdom is talking about an inheritance for my children's children. The real question is, what am I doing now to make that possible? What investments am I making now to make that possible? And this is not only an investment of money. Of course, it includes money, but it's not only exclusive to money. But hey, wouldn't it be great when you look at all those massive states across the world and the foundations that they have laid that are impacting communities, cities, and countries to this day? It's because they have a longer term plan. Most successful people plan in generations. Others plan for the weekend. I don't want to be one of those who are planning just for the weekend. I'm talking about generational blessings, generational wealth. And if we're talking about generational wealth, then we're going to move from the concept of talking about this in context of what are we doing next weekend? What are we doing next year? We need to be talking about generational. And then lastly, dumb goals have to be bankable. Is this really going to be enough money for you for the effort that you're putting in? If it's not, the chances are that you should be working on something else. If it's not going to give you the return that you need, then it's possible that you should be working on something else or with other people, expanding your capacity, collaborating, different schools of thought, different ideas, different types of innovation. That's one of the reasons why I'm sharing with you about the inputs that you put in, about the conversations that you are having, about your ability to increase your capacity for more in order to ensure that what you are doing is bankable, in order for you to ensure that you have tools, T-O-O-L, tools for your next move. It's what I was speaking about last week, about having that singleness of mind, not being double-minded. In your output, not being double-minded in your thought process, making sure that you are able to manage your priorities. What is my next priority for the next 7 to 14 days? How am I going to ensure that over the next 7 to 14 days, I achieve my goal? What things do I need to cancel out? What distractions do I need to minimize in order to ensure that I put the appropriate planning and preparation in place? Because preparation is key to your expectation. You've got to do the groundwork. You've got to do the training. You've got to do the research. You've got to make significant progress in order for your ideas to be bankable. Because when that happens, when your ideas become bankable, this is what happens. Your intellect and your instinct are aligned. Then producing the fruits of your labor brings you satisfaction. Because what's happening in that moment, you are aligning your actions. You are aligning your actions with your thought capabilities, with your thought process. You are aligning your actions with your instinct, with your gut feeling, with that sixth sense that you have, with your ability to discern what's going on, what's happening. Those two feelings, if you like, your intellect and your instinct are aligned. And that's when you start producing the fruits of your labor. And that's where you get fulfillment. That's where you get satisfaction. That's where the attention of your valuable currency takes on a different form. That's when the attention and of your currency is then able to produce or increase, rather, increase your impact, increase your influence, increase your income, increase your innovation, increase your ideas. It increases your input because your life will be tomorrow. It will be determined by what you do today. So you want to sharpen your intellect, sharpen your instinct so that they align, so that you are then able to utilize your ideas in a different way, utilize your innovation in a different way. How many of you are working on ideas? Just put a Y in the chat box for yes, or a me. Put a me in the chat box. Me. Type the word me in the chat box so that I can see who are those of you who are working on ideas. Who are those of you who have got something cooking, something baking in the oven of your mind? Who are those of you who have got something that you are hoping will come to fruition? Who are those of you who are saying, look, Claudine, I'm working on something. I'm not sure if it's going in the right direction, but I am working on something. You want for your intellect and your instinct to increase or to produce the fruit of your labor and bring you satisfaction. But the thing about this is your ideas, your thoughts, your concepts, you're cultivating a future for yourself and your family with those ideas and with those concepts and with those thoughts that you are having. You are aligning your actions. You are aligning your actions by working consistently with discipline, managing priorities. I think Michelle said it earlier on. In the engine room for energy. This here, navigating life, is your engine room for energy. You are building and increasing your capacity for more. Let me be very, very clear. Successful people don't arrive at where they are because they only work on a Monday. Successful people don't arrive at where they are because they only put in 2 hours a week into their plan. Successful people arrive at where they are because they have a consistent, disciplined approach to work. that manages their priorities and helps them to see with their mind what other people miss with their eyes. My question to you today, ladies, is what are you seeing? What are you doing? Are you making sure through the evaluation process, through sophisticated thinking strategies, that you are constantly evaluating your output? You are constantly evaluating the legacy of your work, the legacy of your investment of time, the legacy of your investment of your talents, the legacy of the investment of your treasure, the legacy of your investment. Are you constantly measuring this so that you can understand where the successes are in what you are doing? I hope this is making sense to you, because I understand that many of you have things that you are working towards, your ideas, your the things that you want to bring you satisfaction and bring you fulfillment. Many of you say to me, Claudine, I just want to help people. I want more. Many of you, we've said this privately, you are preparing to join me in Atlanta for a conference that will be taking place on the 16th, 17th, 18th of October. But here's the big thing. Preparation for Atlanta doesn't start in September. It starts right now. It starts with your thinking. It starts with the way how you position yourself. It starts with the preparation that you put in place in order for when that time comes, in order for you to be ready. I want to help more of you get ready. I want to help more of you increase your income. I want to help more of you put on another zero on your income. I want to help more of you create ideas, multi-award winning ideas, game-changing ideas, unicorn ideas. I want to help more of you increase your impact. I want to help more of you increase your influence. I want to help more of you increase the inputs that you need in order to increase your capacity for more. That's one of the reasons why I come here Saturday after Saturday, because here's a couple of things that I want you to start thinking about as to how and what that actually looks like. I want you to, number one, look internally and be observant of the environment and education and what it's producing. And what I mean by that is the environment that you are currently in and the education that you are currently processing, the things that you are learning. What is it producing in you? Is there a return? If there is no return, then I would ask the question, why are you still in that environment? Why are you still taking in that education that is not producing the outputs that you are looking for? You are not a tree. You can move. You are not a tree. You can move. You can change environments. You can step into a place that cultivates excellence, that cultivates growth, that cultivates influence, that cultivates impact, that cultivates ideas, that cultivates a feeling of unity, harmony, and increase. You got to be able to take a forensic look at your environment and say, is this a place for where I can grow? There are seeds within me. There are seeds that need to be cultivated. There are seeds that need to flourish. But unless you put that apple seed in the right soil, unless you put that mango seed in the right soil, unless you put that banana seed in the right soil, it cannot flourish. You are a seed, Linda. You are a seed, Shalina. You are a seed, Tanya. You are a seed, Deborah. You are a seed, Janet. You are a seed, Denise. You have to ask yourself, am I planted in the right soil? Once you understand that the soil that you are in is the right place for you, you then have to learn the patterns, the principles, and the purposes that you can flourish. What are the reoccurring patterns? What are the reoccurring principles? What are the reoccurring purposes, or what is the reoccurring purpose that I am aligning my actions with so that I can learn? And when I get to the top of my level, I start to gain on a different level. And when I get to the top of that level, level two, I get to the top of level two, I start to gain at the bottom of level three. And when I get to the top of level 3, I start again at the bottom of level 4. And that is the cycle. There are layers and complexities to your growth journey. You are always moving, always in that cycle of leaning in to the things that are demonstrating value and victory. Lean into the things that demonstrate value and victory. It was Sheryl Sandberg. She was the former chief operating officer for Facebook, who wrote a book called Lean In. And in her book, she was describing how women uh, unintentionally exclude themselves from progress steps. What she was saying is that women were coming to the table, but instead of taking a seat around the table, they were pushing their chair, they were sitting around the edges of the room. Instead of coming to the table and sitting at the table because they had something to contribute, they were sitting back at the edge of the room because they didn't feel like they could lean in. My instruction to you today, ladies, is to lean in. Lean into the things that are demonstrating victory. Lean into the things that are demonstrating value. Even if you don't understand the environment, lean into it. Because when you lean into that environment, that's where growth happens. That's where cultivation happens. You're learning new language. You're learning what that environment is producing. And if you don't like what the environment is producing, leave. Find a new environment that can cultivate what's within you. As you lean in, learn the patterns, learn the thought processes, learn the ideologies, learn the concepts, learn the collaborative principles that are invested in, so that you can then apply those things to your context. Remember, I said earlier on, it's important for you to find your tribe. As you find your tribe, you are constantly applying tools for growth. And that's what sophisticated thinking does. That's what aligning your actions does. It's giving you tools for growth. It's giving you insights for opportunity. It's giving you ideas, dreams, visions, plans that you can implement for your next level. So with that in mind, for those of you who are ready for your next level, I want to invite you to mentorship with Claudine Reed, MBE. That is me. On the 25th, 26th, and 27th of April, for those of you who are ready to take a next step, for those of you who want to increase your capacity for more, for those of you who want to invest in yourself, for those of you who are saying, look, Claudine, I'm looking for a tribe of women, a group of women who are ready for next. For those of you who are saying, look, Claudine, I need to make sure I level up in every area of my life, my fitness, my faith, my family, my finance, my fun, my friends, my firm, my personal fulfillment. I want to level up in all of those different areas. I want you to make a big decision